Hey everyone, welcome to my live stream, welcome to my kick tutorial. Thank you for being here, of course, first of all. Yeah, I've been, oh, there's a dog barking, can happen. Still a zoo in here, so, yeah, I will explain a little bit why I'm doing this. I get a lot of demos from really creative producers, and I see that most of the really creative producers are facing problems with creating a kick. With this tutorial I will explain the basics. I will not be able to create a really perfect kick in just the maximum of 2 hours I have for streaming, and I will just learn you what the basics are and what you need to what's important to look for in a kick, and what are things you need to look after. So I will just start and show you what I'm doing. I will switch to my desktop. I will be still following my mouse, because else the resolution will not show you everything. Another thing I should say to you is that I have to switch off my camera sound when I show you the sound from my computer, else it will sound like this. You have like an echo, and that's not useful at all. So there are a few steps to make, and there are a few details in a kick you need to know. The most important part is like the low frequency in a kick, and I will show you how I make the kick. There are several ways to doing it. I normally use Logic, but this time I'll be using Cubase with a few plugins which are really common, and yeah, a lot of people, I think, they know the plugins, so they recognize things in it. Normally I use Logic with the clip distortion and a whole bunch of other plugins, and it's also really important you know the plugins before you start working for a kick. Please also know when you need to create a kick. When you really want to be able to make a good kick, you need really good experience. You need a lot of patience as well, and yeah, like all the big artists, they worked for years creating a perfect kick, you know. And but still, with this I will show you the basics, what you need to look for, and yeah, so you have like a base where you can work from and express your own creativity, since creating a kick is also a creative process. So let's first start with the base of a kick. I will switch the screen to my desktop, and you should be able to see it now. As you can see, I loaded a 909 kick just in a track, and I added a few plugins, an equalizer. It's just basic equalizer with 6 equalizers, an analyzer, which is really useful. I also added the isotope trash. It's a really cool distortion plugin with a lot of options. You need these options because yeah, there are so many ways to make a sound of a kick, and you really need a lot of options for distortion to be able to make to be able to make sounds. There are also a lot of distortions with only a few options, and then you get stuck when you want to create a certain sound. This one has 2 distortions with a lot of settings, and also there are a lot of other things like the squash. It's like a limiter compressor thing, a pre-filter, it's just an equalizer, post filter, it's post equalizer, a box model, it's for setting the gain and the spread and stuff like that, and the buzz for some flanger or echo effects. Well, I'll be only using the trash for distortion, and I will use the equalizer plugins for equalizing, so only worry about the trash setting. What I did here is just added equalizer, distortion, equalizer, and we are going to make the low frequency of the kick now. So I will be now shutting off my camera sound so you have the perfect ability to listen to it. So here we go. So, back to my camera sound. You see me a whole bunch of stuff. I've been doing some equalizing and some basic distortion. Just only I used one distortion, one overdrive with clip control. It's just some kind of setting. With the equalizer I tried to make just a basic low frequency sound. And as you can see, I have a plugin here. It's the Scope from Schwa. It's not a free plugin, and I know that a lot of other programs you can make music with also have an oscillator just to monitor your waveform. It's really important when you are creating the low frequency of a kick that it's really tight and really nice in the center of like your 0 point, and that's because then you have more abilities for mastering, and it will sound like more tight, and you have the best sound for your kick, the best low frequency for your kick. So having that done, I'm going to do something, and I'm not sure how it will work on other programs, but I made a new audio track, and I gave it no output, so no bus, it says here, and the input is the stereo out, and that way I can record everything that goes through my master, and in that way I can record everything I hear, and that's really important when you make a kick. There are again there are a few ways creating a kick, and where am I? Sorry. Sometimes I have to find my mouse again. I have two screens here. One of here is my Wirecast, where I can control everything you see. So that's why I always go to the right side of my monitor. So to explain you why I'm doing that. But what was I saying? Yeah, I record everything you hear. So you have like every part of the kick. You can work with that. So when I record this part, you will hear a little double sound now. So here I have the waveform which I just created from this track, which has a really nice waveform for the low frequency sound, as you can see here. This is the waveform from the kick I just made. Wait, I will turn myself off again because that's not relevant right now. You can see me a lot of times if you want, if I play somewhere or something. Anyhow, this is just what I recorded, the low frequency sound. With that I will make a new track, audio track, alright? And I will mute this one because I'm not sure if it does it right now as well, but Trash has a little bit of a strange thing. Sometimes when you have a lot of things and distortions turned on, you will get a peak in your frequency. There's none now, but sometimes you have like a low frequency peak and it will mess up your waveform. So I always mute the bass sound I just created. And then I have here a new audio with the low frequency I just created. Now we'll loop it again. Yeah, once again, if I play it now, you get a double sound. It's really annoying, but yeah, I will turn myself off again. So I go to the right side of my monitor and I'm gone now for a few seconds. So there you go, that's the low frequency sound I made. I'm going to duplicate this track. I can of course change this one again, but in my opinion it's best to keep all the tracks you made, because then you can always go back and start from where you started, you know, start again from where you started for a different sound. So here I just duplicated the track, so it's duplicate, yeah. And I can make just something for like the tail for the kick. Again, there are certain ways to do this. I usually use Logic and just put one sound, one nano 9 through a whole bunch of groups. Just like here's just going to group 1, and then you are able to split up all the sounds, all the frequencies. You can make like one group for the low frequency and a group for like the mid frequency and the high frequency and every other sound you want. But that will be a little bit of a complicated project. So and this way I think it's best to see what I'm doing. So in that way I just made a new track with the same settings. I can reset them, but I will leave them how they are now, just to make like a tail sound, something useful. And with that I'm going to bounce it afterwards, and in that way you can make several bounces of several sounds and use them while layering the kick afterwards. So I'll turn myself off again, and then you can check out what I'm doing. It's all about creativity here. Don't be afraid to use a lot of equalizing, a lot of distortion, and I will use only basic sound, I mean plugins right now, but yeah, there are so many things you can use. You can use like the Omicide or yeah, a whole bunch of sounds just to get the perfect sound. But once again, it's really important to know the plugin. The equalizer is an equalizer, of course, but the isotope trash is just one of the many distortions there are. And I'm going to use another one. I already mentioned that one. It's the Wave Shaper. It's really cool plugin. It's yeah, a wave shaper just messes up the waveform that goes through the input, and you can yeah, make cuts on different places in the waveform. I will show you that in a minute when I switched my camera sound off again. So what I will be doing now is just create a sound I like for on top of the low frequency, and I will explain afterwards what I'm going to do with it and how to layer them. So here we go. I'm going to turn off my sound again so you can hear what I'm doing. Right. Alright, well, as you can hear, it's not perfect yet. I'm going to explain a little bit in between right now. As you can see, I only use these plugins, my equalizer, my distortion, my equalizer. The thing is, like I told before, it's a creative process, and it's important, yeah, just try out different plugins while working on the sound. Like I muted my wave shaper here right now, and I was about to use it, but I had to explain that it's all about trying and knowing your plugins and finding which plugin needs to be placed at which point to make a certain sound, you know. And the equalizer really pumps up like here it is, the frequency around 500 Hertz. And the distortion will react on it because the loudest frequency will be distorted more in the distortion. Through that, yeah, it's all about creativity, and I'm going to show you a little bit what I'm usually doing. It's like trying all different types of plugins and maybe remove one or change like a position of one to make the sound different. And yeah, it's the best way to show you, I think. So let's turn the camera sound off again and listen what I'm doing and pay attention. Alright, so here we go. I'm going off. Alright, back. As you can see, I did not do a lot. I used the wave shaper just to change the sound a bit, and I'm using the equalizer in a way that really small things you change at the equalizer, you hear a lot of difference, and that's what I meant with the creative part and just trying out. Like such small changes in the equalizer changes so much in the sound that it's, yeah, it's really a matter of trying and express your creativity and yeah, trying out different. Wait, a sip of tea. Sorry, thirsty of all the talking. In that way you can change the sound and yeah, make it a really your own sound. What I have right now is quite a nice sound. Well, it's okay, but I have made a sound, and I think some parts of it are really useful. I don't like the end of it because it's a little bit too cracky, and there is a really strange frequency, a little bit of annoying frequency in it. But when I bounce this part of the kick, it gives the ability to use any part of the kick. So I'll give it a bounce. I said I'll give it a bounce. Oh, wrong track. Here we go. So now I have the waveform, and as you know, of course, with a waveform you can do anything you want. You can cut it and use only just a little part of it, or you know, change the equalizer of it and add some more distortion on it, and you can layer it with all the parts you are bouncing. Because here again I have the low frequency, so I'll call it low freak. Nice. Okay, give it a nice color. I think it needs to be more dark. Alright, so then you have the low frequency kick. I'll let it here really shortly because again, when the camera sound is on, you get a little bit of a weird delay, but it's this sound. You probably recognize it from the beginning. So you have that one, and you have the one I just created. I will make a new track for it, a clean one, a track, make it yellow, tail part, nice. Once again, this is just basically how I work. I do it really quickly right now because we only have a certain amount of time for streaming, and else you might get bothered and you rather try it yourself, of course, because once again it's a creative process and you need have to have a lot of patience. You need a lot of time to be able to create something really good, because you can use so many plugins, so many types of distortion, and so many types of you can use phasers, you can use stereo delaying for, you know, widen up the sound part, and you can use reverbs, you can use anything to make your sound. And always remember, you can just bounce a part of the thing you are creating. If you're creating like this tail part, you can bounce it and you can use any part of it you like, you know, because maybe you like the punch of it, maybe you like just the tail or the end, or maybe you like just only the low frequency of it, something like that, and you can mix it up with anything you make. So be really creative with that one, and remember that the thing I showed you in the beginning, which I told you, the low frequency is a really important part of the kick. It needs to be really tight. I will show you again the oscillator I have right here. It will show you that the waveform of the low frequency is really tight right now, really nice in the center. You can see it already here, but if you see it here, it's you know, the waveform is really nice, and that's needs to be a foundation of your low frequency. So I'm going to use that in combination with the tail part I just created. I have muted the tail part, and I'm going to put a filter on the low frequency to only use the low frequency, because there are a lot of frequencies left in that part. So once again, I'm going to turn off my webcam sound so you can see, you can hear what I'm doing. So here we go again. I'm off. So let's review what I did. You already saw the waveform, it's still nice and clean. I'm not sure you can see this on YouTube. I put a low pass filter, which means actually only pass the low frequency. I put it on 160 Hertz. It's between 0 and 160. Well, not actually, it's around 40 or something. Which are the most important frequencies for the low frequency of the kick. That's the real frequency you feel, you know, and yeah, work with that for the low frequency. That's really important to have that frequency really tight. you know, and also be creative with something I'm going to show you right after, because the punch will have a different low frequency spectrum than the tail part. So now I have a real clean, straight waveform. What I want to do is only use the tail part of this frequency, because that needs to be really clean. So I just made a cut of the place where the punch might be. It's like also trying, you can, you know, place it anywhere, but it's nice to put it like, yeah, how much is it, like 80 milliseconds, something like that. But that's around here, something. So that in that point I want the low frequency to start off. So here again, 150 BPM, this is one beat, this plays right here, up. So I now marked only one beat, and I wanted to start the frequency around here. I'm going to change this a little bit depending on what the sound of the tail will be like. So this is the low frequency, and now the tail part also has a lot of low frequency, of course. When I play this, you still hear a lot of low frequency, which is actually really nice, but I'm not going to use it because I already have one here, which is really nice. So what I'm going to do with the tail part is also put a band pass on it, but this time I turn off the high pass filter, which means pass all the high frequencies, and I also turn it to around 160. Yeah, I put it around 160, but you can also change it a little bit if you hear certain frequencies working really nice together. It's all about what it sounds like, but the most important thing is that you still have your low frequency at a good place. What I'm going to show you right now is how they work together with the passes together, and I'm going to mix up it a little bit for the frequencies and make sure the waveform is still right. For that I also added a bandpass on my master, which cuts off to also 160 frequency. In this way I can only show the low frequency part on my oscillator, so I can see what my low frequency looks like with both layers together. So I'm going to switch off the sound again so you can hear what I'm doing. Going off now. Back on again. One thing, something I haven't thought of saying before. In your mixer, it's important to have like the master setting. When you have the waveform, you need to put the volume down so you have more space in the mastering. Of course, when you are using distortion for creating sounds, it is okay to clip. But at the master, it's really important to be able to see what's actually going on, also above the 0 decibel. So with Cubase you can link the layers, I mean the tracks, and you can put the volume down. So you have more. You can see what it's actually doing. Sorry for the dubbing again. I'm going to switch my sound on again and work on the layering, so you can hear that. I will be turning on and off the bandpass a few times to see what the frequency will look like, and will play with some equalizing. So, and then I will be back on the webcam sound again. So going off now. Alright, well, I didn't do much right now. As you can hear, it's not a perfect kick yet, but you can hear it's already sounding like one a little bit. What we still need to do is create some character, and with the tail part, this part, I hear there are some frequencies that are really annoying in my ears. And with the equalizer you can find them and turn them off. I will show you how to do that. I will make a really small peak, and it will sound a little bit annoying. It will sound, yeah, you will hear like really loud beeps. But in that way you can find where the most annoying frequencies are, and in that way you can just turn it off at that point, like I'm doing right now. So I'm going to show you how I do that and how you can find the annoying frequencies. Of course, it's also a matter of training your ears. You need to be really focused on what you hear. You need to yeah, just hear exactly what's going on and be focused on the sound that you are hearing, you know. So I'm going to switch up the sound again and find, well, I have two points left, so I will find two annoying points. Well, this one, yeah. Sorry, I don't use this plugin. No, this is the wrong setting. Bandpass, no. Oh, here, peak. It's a really big one above. I lost him. Okay, so I got two peaks. I will make them really short, and I will use the one at a time. So now I'm going to find the annoying frequencies in this tail part. So switching off the sound again. Oh, sorry, something was wrong. I opened the wrong equalizer, so I'm going to do the same thing with the right equalizer. I was doing something and nothing happened, so I wasn't paying attention. So once again, you really need to be focused, because now we only have a really small project, but eventually when you are doing, yeah, making a kick, a really detailed one, a really good one, then you will need a lot of more plugins, and you will need a lot of more patience, and you will eventually have a lot of bigger projects with a lot of layers and stuff like that. So once again, going to find the annoying frequencies, turning off the sound again, so enjoy. Alright, I just found like 3 points that a little bit annoyed me. So I faded them away. I didn't fade them all the way to the minus 24 dB because it will empower the frequencies beside next to them to be more noticeable. So in that way I just faded them all the way a little bit until they didn't annoy me anymore. So now we have like a tail part and a low frequency part, which are of course not perfect again, but as you can see we are working now for 38 minutes. So you see it takes a lot of time to create something yeah, really good, of course. Yeah, well, like I did before in this track, where's my, here it is. This part is again the tail part I created, which I used in this track. What I'm going to do now is create another tail part, and I'm going to mix it up in a few in a way which changes the sound. So let's see what I can make. Wait, I will duplicate it like I told before. Save everything you have. Never throw something away because you might need it another time. Like I'm reusing the tail part again. Just duplicate it and try to make a different sound. So here we go. It's again a creative process. Don't feel like you need to be able to make something really good, because yeah, I work on a lot of different layers when I make a kick, and mostly I throw a lot away because I don't like them, but you need to start somewhere and you need to keep trying yeah, until you have something really cool. So I'm trying to make a sound, again a tail sound, using some more plugins still within this range. I might use let's try Camel Crusher, which has also a distortion, a compressor, and let's try well, I already have the wave shaper, so maybe another trash. Just hey, let's use another one. I will turn off everything except the trash, just only use the distortion. It's a choice. You can also use like the pre-filter, you can use everything that's here just to create some kind of sound, the sound that you want. So once again, like I told when I made the previous tail part, try to make a sound and try to listen to parts you like in the sound you are creating. You are not restricted to use everything you see. So hey, I'm back again. So just another sip of tea. It's already cold, but don't want that. I also have iced tea. Yeah, try to search for certain types of sounds that you like. Try to find like maybe you like a high frequency or a low frequency, or maybe you create a punch type of thing. Just anything you want, you need to create a kick. Just be creative and try to hear something you like. So I will switch off the sound again and try to make something out of it. Cheers. So, switching the camera back to where it was, switching on the sound again, off the sound again from my webcam, and enjoy me creating a different sound. Cool. Yeah, on again. A little advice. I already I found a sound which I really like. It's the crack of the kick, which I'm hearing right now. There's a really nice cracking sound in it, and immediately when I hear something like that, when you have like a record track, you can record something you hear immediately, and maybe just work on the same track again, or duplicate it or something like that. Just figure that one out. It's all a creative thing. When you hear something you really like, bounce it immediately. You can use anything you hear while creating a kick, and actually any sound you are creating. But yeah, when you hear something, don't hesitate. Just bounce it. Just make a wave out of it. You can always use it later. You know, there are always things you don't like of the sound, but it might be something you really like and you can use. So let's continue with creating tail sounds. Alright, here's something I did right now. As you saw with this sound, I just lowered the sound. Be aware when you are creating a kick with a lot of distortion, which I'm using already 3 distortions, which is 4 actually, which is quite a lot. Try to remove or just amplification, or remove equalizer settings. Just by lowering them down, you can create whole different sounds as well. I keep on saying this. It's a creative process as well. It's about trying and trying. There are no like perfect settings for creating a kick. Every kick that has been made is made out of yeah, a lots of trying before it was ready. You know, there are so many things you can put in between. There are so many types of plugins you can use. I've already used 6 plugins in here, and every minus change makes a lot of difference in the sound. I will show that right now, because when I shift only the low frequency a little bit, you can hear the sound changes a lot. So I'll change the sound, put down the wacom sound again so you can hear it. Here we go. Well, I'm not sure what you think, but I think that was a really nice tail sound. So I bounced it immediately, like I told you before. Bounce everything you hear, and you use them when you are creating, you know, the mix part. And again, remember, it's all about having the perfect frequencies do that work. You know, you need a really clean and nice low frequency like I have here. It's a really tight one. It can be even better, of course, but you can just take as much time as you want in the low frequency, and you can mix it up even with other frequencies, as long your scope says that the waveform is okay. You know, just make sure it's a really nice, oh sorry, wrong button, make sure it's a really nice waveform, you know, really tight, really clean. And yeah, well, it doesn't have to be clean, as long as it's in the right center, and it has the no weird peaks. Like if I change, wait, let's just add a different EQ. You know, I'm going to show you something how it should not be, you know, when you put a high pass on it, and you will play the sound. I will lower down this sound a little bit. Let's see. Well, it's a really clean sound, but if you have like distortion on this one, one sec, because I just want to show you right now how it should not look. And this one again. Well, you can see it a little bit here. It's quite fine, okay, right now, but you can see very minimally. You can see the sound is off the center, and it's not a nice like block again. It's a really fadey one, and you also have like waveforms where you can see there are a lot of swifts in the oscillator. And you don't want that, because that will mean the low frequency will have like yeah, well, sorry, my English is not really good, but you have like yeah, well, strange frequencies coming through, when you have like a boom 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 effect. You know, you want it to be tight, like, you know, a really good, clean, nice tail sound in the low frequency. So let's put that away. Well, as you see, I have already made 2 new sounds, 2 new tail sounds, which I'm going to mix up again with the parts I have. And I will show you that it's possible in many ways to affect your sound. You can of course use it by do it by just using little parts of and just adding some, just only pass a few frequencies you like. But you can also change the position of the waveform. Really small position changes can change the sound of a kick completely, and that is a really useful thing to use, because when I make a new track, Yes, till part 2. And when you add the same another tail sound from the same bass sample, the 909, you see that is that right? Oh, wait. You can see that the frequencies start at the same point every time, because it's the same kick over and over, you know, it's the same bass sound which has the same frequencies at the same point. And with this you can change the sound completely with only little shifts in the sound. This will sound not really good, but you can hear what I mean with changing the position of the sound. So let's turn the webcam sound off again. You can hear what I'm meaning. So now you hear positioning the waveform while layering changes the sound, and yeah, it's okay to do that as long as you know, the waveform in the end is right and the frequency is right, you know, because that's the important part of the kick, to have a really tight bass, a really tight low frequency, and of course mixed up with good sound engineering and creativity in the yeah, in the sound of the tail, you know. So with that, I had made another tail part, and I'm going to take a moment to try mix up these parts with also using plugins, you know, equalize them a little bit, maybe distort them a little bit. And what I'm also going to do, I made a few groups here. Well, a group means actually you can have multiple tracks, either MIDI or whatever, or audio in this tutorial. You can output them to a group. Did I use? No, I didn't use group 1. So I put all these tracks to group 1. Oh, group 1. Yes, and with that I have full control of all 4 tracks in one group. As you can see, everything is outputted to this group. Make sure, because of course we have 4 really loud sounds over here. Make sure the volume is down, so you won't have clipping right away in the group. You know, have a nice room left for your EQing and stuff like that, you know. So having that done, I have also the ability to add equalizers or distortions or anything at the group. So in that way you can, you know, change the sound completely. Alright, so let's try it out. I'm going to once again change the sound a little bit with equalizing, with what I just showed you, changing the position, maybe just use small parts of a waveform, or, you know, fade out of the waveform, or just shift it, you know, or just only use certain parts or only certain types of frequencies. So I already had frequencies on the, wait, is it still, oh yeah, unlink the channels. I will, no, yeah, no, this one I already did, so I will mute the plugins there which are not there, so it's all cool. So now I can start off by changing the sound, and once again, yeah, just try to layer them in any way. So sit back and see what I'm doing. Here we go. We'll turn off the sound of the webcam again. Cool. Little mention, like I just added them to a group. I will also use the group for distortion and equalizing and stuff like that. So, you know, like I told, these four tracks I'm working on right now, these four, they are in a group 1, and I'm going to adjust all four audio tracks in the group. So let's try that out. Once again, I'm not going to be able to make a perfect kick, of course. In a few moments I will explain something about the punch, about how to make that one. At least how one of the ways are, like the way I'm showing you right now. Alright, so let's have a look when I change things in the group, so you can hear, and I will also keep on adjusting, equalizing, and maybe adding or removing plugins here, or shifting, or some stuff like that, you know. Just yeah, sit back and see what I'm doing. I'm going to just check it out. worth to mention. Of course, it's also possible when I made this group sound, I can record it and make something else and use that in the layer or something like that, you know, because everything you hear, you can bounce and you can use it as just a part of a kick, just one layer. You know, I just made 4 layers already, and when I mix them up in the group, you can also use them in the use the whole thing as just one layer again, you know, and make a new set of layers with that. You know, it's just keep on working on it until you have something you like, you know, and yeah, it takes time, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes patience, you know, until you have something right. But still remember, the low frequency is really important, you know, and after I made some kind of kick-like thing, you know, which will not be perfect, because it will take a lot of more time. After that, I will show you how to make some sort of punch, what you need to be aware of while making one. So let's come to that after I made something a little bit nicer out of this. Alright, let's turn the camera sound off again. Here we go. You know, I came to a point where with trying out different layers and different settings, and turning off one of the layers I made, this one. Well, when I turned it off, I heard something, especially at the end of the tail part, which I really like. I can show you one. Let's turn the sound off again. So what you hear now is a part I really like. So I'm going to bounce that again and use that as a layer. So let's turn the mic off again. So I created a new layer from all 3 of these layers. which are in this group with another distortion and another equalizer. With that I created a new layer which I really like, and I can use that for my kick as well, you know. Of course when I place it underneath now it's exactly the same as you hear, so but I'm going to put it here. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure what happened. What's going on here? Oh, the thing is on. Alright. So I have a really nice, you know, bass structure of a kick again. Yeah, there are certain things you can do with it. You can work on this one and create new layers for this one, which I'm going to do in a moment. Yeah, you can do anything with it. Just be creative with what you hear and try to make you know, different layers and try to use the best part of the layers you create, you know. So once again, this is one of the many many possibilities of creating a kick. Well, I use normally I use Logic and with the clip distortion, and I use a whole bunch of plugins. This is a way of bouncing and create layers, but eventually it's all about layering. The way I work normally, as you saw, I just made a group. What I normally do is create a group. I mean, create one track with the 909, and I put it in a group with Logic, and then split up every frequency by. Yeah, here it is a little bit difficult because it's not. Just create some kind of multiband thing here. Just by every group has its own. You can change like a group with only the low frequency or the mid frequency and the high frequency. You can make a whole bunch of groups for like sound engineering, the tail part, you know, with different types of high frequency or different types of low frequency. Just mix up a whole bunch of groups, and which are actually also layers. So that's why I just showed you like this, you know. So once again, I've created a new part here, which I really like. So with that, I'm going to work. I'm going to make this color green. Just fold this down a little bit. What I'm going to do first is see how the low frequency is of this sound, because if that's a really nice one, and I believe it is because I only used the low frequency of the part I used. But what's different now is that I also added a distortion on the group, so which means the low frequency is also distorted now, which changed the low frequency, of course. So I'm going to check how my low frequency looks when I play it. Let's do the sound off a little bit like that, so you can see what, you know. This is the waveform of the part I just created. Well, you can see here now that the low frequency is not as tight as it was. You know, you see. Can I freeze it? I can freeze it. Wait. Oop. You can see here that there are some swifts in the frequency, which means that after a point, you know, this is the beginning of the kick. After a point, it gets louder, and that's something you don't want. You want it to be equally tight, so you have the, yeah, you have a really nice and tight kick sound, you know. So what I'm going to do now, when I use this layer, I'm going to turn off the low frequency until around 160 frequency, and use the here the purple one, the low frequency I made before, because that one is really tight. So let's try that one out. I will turn off the sound again with my mic so I can layer these two things in a good way. you know, change the volume as well, so it won't be too loud in my master output. So let's do that, and I'll be right back with you. So, I just adjusted the equalizing of the layers. I just had to equalize this part a little bit more until the low frequency was right again. This way we have, you know, the tight low frequency back again with the new layer I just created. Yeah, with that we can continue working on with the tail parts I already created. You know, if I add, you know, maybe a previous one, you can again start with layering the sounds, you know, and shifting them. You know, with that you can change the sound again and again and again until you have what you need. And the more you edit the sound, you know, the more oh no, it's all gone. Yeah, here we are. The more you edit the sound, the more you come to a point then you when you are looking for parts in a kick that you are missing, you know, like frequencies or just you know, high frequency parts like a crunchy part or a little tick on the punch or stuff like that, you know. So in this way we don't have like the perfect kick yet, but if you take a lot of time and effort in it, then you can get you know, the result you want. And in the beginning you always have like an idea of what you want to achieve, but it really takes a lot of experience and knowing your plugins and knowing what you are doing constantly to achieve you know, the point you need. And I think it's best first to try out what the equalizer does exactly with the sound and what it does with the sound when you edit all the layers to a group. And yeah, you know, it's all about if the low frequency is right and if the tail part is nice and if the frequencies itself are okay, you know. Yeah, it's really tough to say what's the best way. This is a really good way of learning how different yeah, sounds can work together, you know, with just minor swifts in the position, with changes in the equalizing by adding more distortion to like layers you already created, or add distortion to the whole group and stuff like that, you know. It's just work with it and be creative and try it out, and yeah, just hang on the rule that the low frequency needs to be tight, you know. It's really the foundation of what you feel in the, you know, when you are at a party. The real big kicks are really tight and really full, you know, and that's all about the right, you know, waveform with the low frequency as well. Let's have another zip. All right. Yeah, we can continue work on the tail part, but it will be an endless story. You know, I'm going to work on a punch. There are also a lot of ways of making a punch. Yeah, you can work the same way we already did. We can also use, you know, the good parts of the parts, the layers I created. So I will take the 909 again, just a clean one, and put it in the layer. You know, because the punch of a kick is, you know, in the low and, you know, a little bit near the mid frequency, also a little bit clean like the kick it is itself, you know, just a regular one. It is really that punchy feeling. You still need it in even a hardstyle kick. So, but on top of that, there is like the ticky part, you know, and I will show it you. You know, I'm going to adjust the 909 a little bit, make it shorter, and add a little bit of distortion to it, and you can hear what it already does to just a regular 909 kick. Alright, so here we go. Oh, that's me again. Hi guys, I need this one. Right, turn off the webcam sound again. Cool. Okay, here we still have like a clean, really short 909. I'm going to equalize it and distort it a little bit. The thing is, when you are doing the punch, you really need to make it sound good with the tail part, so it will like melt with it, you know. You don't want like a kick with a punch that totally doesn't fit with the rest of the kick, you know. So it's really about distorting the right way, you know. It's really about hearing what it does, but in the end you still might need like a clean 909 just to fill, you know, the right frequencies up, because also the punch of a hardstyle kick is also like the mid frequency part of a clean 909, you know. You can adjust the sound a little bit so it will melt with the overall sound. And what you also can do is like what I have here with the tail part. I still have like a punch part of the kick here. You will hear a little bit, you know. Oh, this one is, you know, this little part. You can still use that for filling up and melting the punch with the tail, because, you know, it's made out of one thing, you know. So you can use that one as well, make it louder or stuff like that. You can do anything. That's the beauty of layering and bouncing everything you hear. You can, you know, just use parts and adjust them, and that's also why I love Cubase, because it has such a great audio editing ability, you know. I'm going to duplicate the 909, so I still have a clean one, but I'm going to make one a little bit more distorted and make it more together with the rest I made, you know? So I'll turn off the webcam sound again. Here we go. Alright, well, I'm not quite happy with the result yet. This will take like some time. Alright, I can show you something right now, what's happening, which I explained earlier. There's a thing with the isotope trash, and it is because of like settings you do with the distortion. Like I have just added distortion with certain settings on the clip distortion algorithm. And the second part is the rubber hammer. As you can see now, there is like sound coming from the trash. You know, when I turn it off, the sound is gone. This is something you need to be careful of. It's just like a plug-in thing, but oh, wait. When you are working with layers and you're trying to bounce stuff, you can see the master is also like outputting sound. And as you can see in the scope, it looks really funny because this is not the center of the waveform. This is the center. So it outputs like yeah, it's nothing, but it just shifts the frequency. And what happens then if you play the sound? The whole waveform will be messed up. You know, the whole waveform will shift down because of the overruling isotope trash setting, you know. Make sure that doesn't happen, and make sure if you want to use this sound, just bounce it, you know. Just bounce it so that you will have you can turn off the thing again, you know, when I will show it here. So now you can see it on screen. Now it's turned on. When I turn it off, you see that the waveform is turning normal again, you know, and that's what you want. It's really necessary to have like a clean, no background noise and stuff like that, you know. It's really important to have a clean sound. And if I play it now, you know, some things are happening because of the high frequency, but the low frequency is still nice in the center, you know. When I turn the bandpass on, you'll see there's stuff happening here because of the mid-range. Yeah, but it's not still nice in the middle, you know. So and stuff that's not in the middle right now or too loud, you can edit them in the waveform. So in that way, yeah, that's how it works by creating for creating a punch. It's also layering and stuff like that, you know. What I'm going to show you right now is use the layers I made in the beginning just to fill up, you know, the punch, and I will explain later why I did it when they are in place. So I will add audio tracks. I will make the punch tracks nice and pink, Melody Man pink, cool, and the tail is green, so it will be more you know, recognizable for you guys. Alright, so I will turn off the sound again, and I will use the layers I already created, which are quite a lot already. Wait, where are they? Are these the only layers I made? Oh, probably. Alright, so I will use the layers I created here and make something like a punch of it, you know, because I still have, you know, these parts also still contain like the beginning. And you can really make something really cool out of it by just adding really small parts of these elements, you know. So I will turn off the sound again so you can hear what I'm doing. There we go. thing I'm searching for right now, you heard me made a little strange tick thingy. With a kick, it's important with the punch to have like a really, you know, attack kind of sound, you know. And I made something which I'm going to make sound like that. It's now a little bit of a strange cracky thing, but you can. I'm going to bounce it and make like. I'm going to bounce it right now actually, and make, you know, a really really short like tick sound, to have like a really good attack, like a real some kind of compressor like sound, you know. So I'm going to put it in place here. I don't need this because once again I think I saw it already, the iZotope is even louder now with this output, so I'm going to put this away, put this one away as well. So I only have like the bounced sound of the tick I just made. You know, it's still the same, but I'm going to make it really short like this and equalize it a little bit more because there's some low frequency, and you will hear what I mean with the tick sound. By turning off on and off the sound, you can hear the difference. You have this really punchy attack thing going on if you have like an element like this. So turning off the sound again. So you hear now the difference between this tick on and off. I'll show you one more time. You know, once again, it takes a lot of time to make a really good kick. I just made each layer within like minutes, but usually I just work hours and hours on just the parts I really like, you know, and throwing stuff away and reusing stuff and change it even more, and yeah, with doing that you will create like a really cool kick, you know. And it's also about experience, you know, trying out I mean, knowing what you are doing, and yeah, know your plugins and know your goal and know how to achieve them. And normally I achieve them with the clip distortion. I will explain later how I work with that. I'm still figuring out how I'm going to show you that in a certain time, of course. So, but this way, it's a really cool way learning how to make a kick and learning how to work with layers and stuff like that. You know, it's all a creative process, and knowing that you need a good low frequency bass. You need a punch with like certain elements, like this ticky thing, and you know, the really attacky sort of sound. You know, it needs to be like, yeah, a really good cool punch, and you know, keep it near to what it already is, and try to fill up the tail part for melting it into each other. You know, because I'm going to show you now how to melt up the sound more, you know. So I will turn off the sound again, and I'm going to adjust the layers. I'm also going to adjust the tail part a little bit because I don't like some frequencies in it and some sound of it. I might add another layer with one of these sounds. I'm going to listen to them and see if I can use something in here, and I'm going to you know, make a better tail sound. Right, cool. So punch sound, sorry. So yeah, just see what I'm doing, and you know, it's yeah, it's basically trying, especially in the beginning. So here we go. I'm again just turning off the frequencies I don't like, you know, the really annoying ones. At least what I think is annoying. It's also a matter of taste maybe, but yeah, you need to sound make a clean sound, you know, with no annoying parts in it, and just fade away the really annoying ugly frequencies, you know, with just the equalizer. So I'm going to continue now. All right. Alright, so now I'm still working on, you know, the sound part. You know, this is a tail part right now. Well, it definitely sounds not there, but there are now elements in the in the kick you can really work with. You know, we still have a good waveform, you know, with the frequencies. You can edit them, and you can also like put them in a group again. If you make a new group, use group 2. It's not used already. When you put them in a group again, you can change the complete sound again, and yeah, you know, create new layers and create stuff you like, you know. It's all about reusing and yeah, re-editing the sound, you know. So I put them in a group, and I'm going to try out some stuff again around here, and change the sound again. So turning off my mic again. Here we go. You know, you can go on like forever this way, but yeah, it's all about like I did, trying settings and finding like the frequencies that are important. You know, there are certain frequencies like the punch is it really needs the like around 100 or 160. You know, the poof frequency, how I call them, and you know. Try to find the sound that sounds right. You know, it's hard to tell what the perfect frequency is, but yeah, try to analyze like kicks that are already there, maybe. You know, try to find which frequencies are important, you know, and it's all a matter of learning, and it's all a matter of experience. And but in this way, you know, like how to start off with something, start creating a kick, and where you can yeah, I'd say it's all a game, you know. It's all playing with the sounds, playing with layers, and trying out the distortion, and trying out working with the frequencies, like I told you, and keep your low frequency clean. And yeah, these are the elements of the punch, you know, with the 909. Keep it really clean, and you know, work with that. And now I added them in a group, and you heard I already again changed the sound. But what you can do now, if you still adjust like the frequency in one of the layers, the sound will will change, you know, because the group sound will be affected to the whole group again. So I can show you how that works. I don't know if it will sound nice, but you will see what I mean. You know, here we go. Turning off the sound again. You see now, now I'm shifting one of the layers again, you know, changing the position like with really small amounts, and you see it changes the sound again, but with all the plugins on top of it, with the distortion and the wave shaper, it affects the sound a lot, you know. And try to work with the sound, but after you did that, you know, I changed the sound now a little bit. Keep in mind that your low frequency needs to be right, and what I did here, this is my low frequency sound I created in the beginning, which is really tight, you know, and use that one for your low frequency. Cut off the frequency you just created, or you can also merge them with the really tight frequency, but make sure the low frequency is right. So we're going to check now what happened with the low frequency with this kick I just created. I'm going to turn off the sound again so you can see and hear. Alright, well, we see here now what happened with the frequency, with all the changes I did. This is the whole part, and you see it's getting louder here. So what you will feel when you are using this kick, and what you will feel when you hear it in like a club, or like, you know, a really good sound system, you will hear that the low frequency will get louder at the end. So you have like boom, boom, and that's not what you want. You want to have a really tight frequency, you know. So you really want you know, the frequency that goes here. Let me check it out. We just created the bass here, and just let's see what this frequency does. I will open a different scope so you can see the difference. So I'm going to play it again. One sec. So this is what I mean with the difference, you know. It's a little bit, wait. So now I have to fill thing, yeah. You know, yeah, it might be a little bit too loud now, and it's not, you know, processed the right way. But you see, this is both only low frequency and between 0 and 160. Of course, here's the part where the punch should be, so we should have cut off the frequency here, you know, the first part, and make there the punch part. But you see, there's a really tight line in the waveform, and you really want that in here as well. So what I'm going to do right now is make it a little bit more complicated. So this is the bass group, and we make another group, final group. Well, this should not be, of course, the final group. Let's call it subgroup. No, I don't know, group. Just call it group. I don't know. It's not a final group because you can do so much more after that, you know. I will output the bass group to the group I just created. The names are not really useful, but okay. And what I can do now is duplicate the bass. No, actually it's better even to bounce it again. No, wait. I did something wrong because first I need to turn off the band pass again. So I have the full sound, you know. Put this one to solo. So I have that really clean sound again, the really clean low sound frequency again. I'm going to use that. Let's make the tracks a little bit smaller. I might be a little bit too hasty again with my mouse, so I'm sorry for that. I'm just used to working really fast, so I just zoomed out a little bit the waveform so we have more room on screen. This is what I just created, you know, with the bad frequency sound. And I will add another layer and we'll make this one green because it's now part of the tail. This is the low frequency again. See? And this will be the new low frequency sound from the bass I just made in the beginning. Another really tight one. So I will use that one. Now I have like a visual of my punch. I can put it in the right spot. Yeah, put it in the right spot. And make the right cut, you know, for the low frequency to begin. I can change it anyway. So, but and now I will output this one also to the group. So now you have the bass low frequency and the whole kick I just created to one group, to this group. Let's make this one, well, let's make it green. So now all these are actually going to this group. Through this group, the kick is going through the bass group to group, this group. Let's give it a better name. Final group. It will be the final group. Cool. So everything is going to the final group now. What I'm going to do is turn down the volume again. Let's say -8. Also the bass group needs to be -8-ish. So now everything goes through final group. And what I can do with the bass group now is just equalize or just use a bandpass to cut off the low frequency with a high pass filter. So let's put it around 160. And this low freak, we can also add a pass to it. Low pass filter, also around 160. around. Well, I can change it to make it sound like perfect. So now we have again the low frequency, the really tight one, and the kick, which goes to this group, the bass group, altogether with the distortion I just made and stuff like that. And now I just cut off like the low frequency and replaced it with the clean bass frequency. So I'll turn off the webcam sound again and let's see what it sounds like, you know. And remember, I did this now. What you still can do is still change and adjust, and I even can distort this group again and then put it to another group and maybe add the how do you say the clean bass sound again, and you know, you can continue working on that. It's like a really big process. It's like a really big creative process, and yeah, just works that way. All right, let's try to merge the sounds together. You know, I'm going to turn off the sound again, and you can listen what I'm going to do. Alright, I wasn't paying attention again. What I should do, what I'm going to do is bounce. Now let's see. Here's where the thinking starts, you know, just because the punch sound already has also a low frequency sound. So I'm going to need that, but since they are all to the same group and I all put a high pass filter to the whole thing, my punch doesn't have any low frequency left anymore. So what's the best way to do this? Well, there are certain ways, you know. You can put these in a different group and put these in a different group, but I'm going to bounce them. I'm going to bounce only the bass group with the without the bandpass filter, so with the whole thing, you know. And I'm going to record it. So now I have like this kick thing here, and I'll take the low frequency, this one, and put it over here. This one is still going to the final group. I'm still going to use it. I'm going to add another track. Let's make that one blue. And this will be the punch. And I'll make another track with the tail. Alright, so there I have my bounce. It's this one. Let's put it underneath the low frequency sound, and let's cut off the tail. Let's separate the tail from the punch part, because I still need to turn off the low frequency of the tail part. So I'm going to make a cut here. Wait, let's make a good one. Now try not to make a cut just in the middle of a big you know, wave here, because then you will have like a nasty ticks and stuff. So just try to search a point where you can nicely make a cut in the waveform. Yeah, just in the beginning of the tail sound. You can see what's going on. The punch sound is actually more messy than the tail sound. So just cut off the tail sound and put it in a separate track. I'll both give them the final group as output. So now we have just the low frequency, the tail part, and the punch part. So I can change that. Also try to keep it on a nice waveform. Something over here. Right. Well, with the fade out, it's okay. You know, then the pop will disappear. Alright, so now we can, like I did before, add a bandpass to the tail. Just a high pass filter, just only to you know, to cut off the low frequency until 160. Low frequency already has a bandpass which I just added. It's all around 160 as well. And now we still have like the low frequency in the tail part, in the punch part, sorry, and we just add a bandpass filter to the I mean a high pass filter to the tail part. So now I'm going to turn off the sound again of the webcam, and you can see how I'm going to merge these sounds. So you see now, oh, let's review. You know, this is the old frequency of only the kick with all the distortion and stuff like that, and this is the new view with, let's, you know, it again has still has the punch, you know, like it has here. It's the same here, only with the tight frequency, you know. Yeah, with that you can work it out and make, yeah, express your own creativity in it and stuff like that. You know, it's really important to keep on trying, keep on learning, keep listening, and know like these small basics I just showed you. You know, and yeah. Well, I will keep it with this because I showed you a lot where you can work with. I'm really looking forward what you guys learned actually. But I will show myself again. Right, here I am. Yeah, I'm asking all of you guys, please try it out. Try out what I just did, and I'm looking forward. What you guys have learned, so please share your videos of the kicks you made and post them underneath this video. Just add a video reply, you know, and yeah, and that way I can see what you guys are doing and what I can help you with. You know, if you have any problems with the kicks, I can how do you say it? I can help you guys out with another live stream. You know, I will check out the videos and see what the troubles you have, and then I can make another episode with you know, more explanation to help you guys out. I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah, what else to say? I really liked doing this, and I hope you guys learned a lot. And yeah. Please send me a response on Twitter, on Facebook, and please add video replies, and please let me know what you think of it and what you've learned and all the troubles you're still having, and things you need me to show. Yeah, everything, you know. So thanks. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Yeah, I'm really happy you guys were here, and I see you next time.